The March 30, 2017 meeting of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Brew? Here. Ms. Cayley? Here. Mr. Rocco? Here. Mr. Wilcox? Here. Chairman Zale?
Here. Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
There is not.
Is there anyone present who has not signed up to speak who would like to address the committee at this time? Seeing none, the next item on the agenda is new business. Mr. Clerk? Oh, I'm sorry. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes. You have the February 28, 2017 minutes before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. Now the next item is new business, Mr. Clerk.
Referral 17-0093, authorize an intermunicipal agreement.
Moved by Legislator Brew, second by Legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion on this matter? Legislator Rocco.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Through you to the administration. This seems a little bit odd. I just make a little bit of an explanation of why we're babysitting junior, senior prom when schools probably have their own security. And are we setting a precedent?
Legislator Rocco, could you repeat the question into the microphone, please?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, could you give some explanation to this referral, please, with regards to the Sheriff's Department working a junior-senior prom? I just would like to hear a little bit of the detail. Does the Central School District come to you? Are we going to be setting a precedent? And just like to hear a little bit more information.
Through the chair, Kristen Musso from the Sheriff's Office. This is not a new endeavor. This is something that we've actually done in the past. It's the first time that it's come before the legislature because it is an intermunicipal agreement. We have done this in 2013. We did it in 2016, and now they've asked us again to participate in their crowd control and security in 2017. We have a working relationship, obviously, with the school districts, and we like to keep up that relationship with the school districts, and so they came to us, and we responded accordingly.
Through the chair, if you recall, not many years ago, too, that there was a contract that came before this body with the Sheriff's Department and Wegmans with regards to providing additional manpower at I believe it was the Pittsford Wegmans, while the East Avenue Wegmans was under construction. You're not seeing those items come before you because the change in the charter that allowed those contracts, that the contract amount that needed legislative authorization has been raised. So, but in this case, even though the dollar amount is relatively low, as the Sheriff's Council stated, simply because it is an intermunicipal agreement, that's why this one was triggered to come before the ledge. And if it hadn't been a school district or a municipal organization, these contracts typically would not come before the ledge until they met the $20,000 threshold.
Legislator Cayley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration. But I understand that the limits have changed in these agreements. But what stood out in the previous years that we were not doing this through the legislative body? Since it sounds as if you're saying that we've done this for a school district before, why weren't we approving them before then?
Through you, Mr. Chair, or through the chair, in previous times when we had done these agreements, I think it was an oversight that this in fact was an IMA, and probably because it was simply a school district as opposed to town and village or the city, and someone caught that and now is bringing it through the proper channels.
All right. Thank you. And then if I may, through the chair to the administration, this is two events, or are they two events on two separate nights? No, one event on a different night, two events.
Through the chair, it is our understanding it's 2 events on 2 separate nights.
Thank you. And then, obviously, the hours through the chair are accounted for. Are we talking 1 officer per event, or would it be multiple? My figures came to roughly 9 hours of officer for both events.
I believe, well, through the chair, in the last agreement, it was 1 deputy for the event. So my understanding is they want to maintain that same availability for the deputy. So I would believe the contract would be drafted the same way. So 1 deputy, so that would account for the what they're looking for.
Okay, thank you. I agree with my colleagues. It is a little bit maybe humorous. So I'm hoping that the crowd control is such that the one deputy won't be overcome. I don't mean to speak of it lightly, but I'm glad that we're doing this through proper channels, and I hope they have a good night.
Agreed. Legislator Brew.
Through the chair to administration, are there any other school districts that you anticipate or are in the process of compiling an agreement at this time, or is it just Spencerport?
Through the chair, not that I'm aware of for prom season.
Okay, thank you. And another question through the chair, if I may. Does this event and the deputy staffing this event provide for any additional liability exposure by the Monroe County Sheriff's Department? I realize, through the chair again, I realize there's liability exposure to everything that we do, but would you agree that's nothing out of the ordinary through the chair?
Through the chair, in our contracts, that will obviously be addressed and part of the agreement.
Okay. Thank you. And one more follow-up question, if I could, through the chair. The hourly rates that are paid for this event, will this result in some sort of an accumulation of hours, say, within that work week that may result in overtime paid at a later time as a result of this event?
Through the chair, the deputies who participate in this are paid by the overtime rate of the police billing rate for 2017.
So through the chair, that I'm assuming that the rates that we're looking at now on the referral does reflect the overtime rate.
Oh, it does, yes.
That was, okay. Thank you. That's all I have. Thank you.
Any other discussion on this matter? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 17-0099, authorize an intermunicipal agreement with the Spencerport Fire District.
Let's see. Moved by Legislator Rockow, second by Legislator Brew. Is there any discussion on this item, please? Legislator Kaley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration. It says here that the trailer houses a John Deere. I like that. But my question is, this is dealing with the west side of the county. Is there a similar unit on the east side of the county?
Through the chair, Steve Shalaba, with the Fire Bureau. There are similar type resources strategically located throughout the community. In this particular case, that is an area that we do feel there's a gap in coverage, and it's also in somewhat close proximity to Black Creek Park, which is also a target area for those, I'll call them land-based search and rescue type incidents.
Thank you. And then, through the chair to the administration, do we have similar agreements with other entities that would mimic this agreement?
Through the chair, we do have similar agreements with both the Gates Fire District and the Ridge Culver Fire Districts for 2 other special operations types vehicles that currently respond throughout the community on those, what we call low-frequency, high-risk call events.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion on this matter? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? There being no other matters, the March 30th, 2017 meeting of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee will be held on Tuesday, April 25th, 2015 at 5 p.m. Thank you.